Service is provided by freeconferencecall.com. The recording has started. Muted.
As to if you want to tap into the supernatural side. The supernatural to me, honestly, is just, it's just flat out believing in God's grace. It's also believing that, anything that you go through is for a reason or a lesson or any type of test. So we ask, dear God, that tonight that you just continue to bless anyone who may be having any type of problems or issues that they've been told or they can't believe that they will get out of. First, I want to thank God just for, blessing us on our daily, activities. Any type of discrepancies we might have throughout the day, we just thank you, God, for that. But we ask, God, that you just provide us with a bigger strength. We thank you, God, for us being able to think supernaturally when it comes to you, dear God. So we ask, God, that you just continue to bless and protect us, because this quote is, so deep that we ask, dear God, that that's the best part about it, for us to continue to be blessed and protected by you, for us to believe that, God, everything goes through you. As I always say when I get on this line, for us to continue that everything has to go through you, any type of approval, anything that may happen. And it says that where human strength ends, that is our turn to, believe in you, dear God, because that's where the human strength ends, because it's our time to believe in you. Because as humans, we try to do a lot. We try to accomplish a lot. We try to do everything that we possibly can on a daily basis. But when it comes down to it, it is up to us, God, to believe in you. It is up to us to believe that whatever we are going through will change. So we ask, God, that you give us, that you allow us that supernatural strength, dear God, to believe in you when things are going completely wrong. Some days you only have a few things go wrong and it's a quick fix. But some days you have everything, absolutely everything you can think of going wrong at one time. We ask, God, that you push us into believing that. And when I say push, dear God, that you put the right people around us to help us believe that when our strength ends, that is when pretty much your strength begins, God. Because you have already instilled in us the strength that we need to have, because we are made in the likeness of you, dear God. So we ask, God, that people use that strength more often I would not be where I am today if I did not pray about certain things that I went through. I'll be the first to tell everyone on this line at one point I didn't want to pray. I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand it. I didn't like waiting. I did not like the outcome of a prayer. I wanted things almost instantly, especially at the bad parts of my life. I wanted everything to be done instantly because whatever I was going through at that time, it seemed like it was never going to be over. Whether it was being caught up in the system or anything the health wise, I felt like whatever I was going through about 4 or 5 years ago, I felt like it was never going to be over. But I'm also going to be the first to tell you that when you let go and let God, it's the same concept. When where the supernatural begins, where the human strength ends, it kind of goes parallel with that. That's the part where you let go and you let God. God is our supernatural. God is our supernatural. Because sometimes we feel like we're stuck. We're in a spot that we cannot get out of. So we ask there, God, that you help us. That you help us, dear God, be placed around the correct people who will help us understand this. Because a lot of the times, you can be a praying individual, but you might not exactly be around people who pray often. When I meet anybody, I don't judge them. Doesn't matter the religion to me, because I love everybody. But the first thing I ask is, do you pray? Do you talk to people outside of your gossip circle? Do you talk to people outside of your family? Do you talk to people outside of your friends? When you wake up on a daily basis, what is the first thing you say? Or what is the first thing? This is what I ask people, because we also don't want to be around too many of the wrong people who can block our supernatural strength. Not that it can be blocked, but sometimes it can take a small detour, because we want to keep the right aura around us. We want to keep the right people around us. So we ask, dear God, you continue to love us. You continue to help us love ourselves and to love the people around us. And if anybody is not right for us, dear God, co-workers, a job, family, friends, if there's anything not right in our life, you help us separate ourselves from the situation and just move on. Because everybody has their own personal relationship with God. And God is the only one that can tell you exactly what you might be missing in life, exactly what you might need in life. So I ask, dear God, that anyone looking for a job, anyone searching of a job, anyone that's like about to quit, anyone that might just be starting, anybody that's signing, W4 forms and I-9 forms, anybody that might just be starting, anybody that's looking for a house, anybody that's searching for a vehicle, anybody that's searching for a great place to live, anybody that's looking for a good place to go to school, anybody that may just got finished school and they looking for a great career. We ask God that you help everybody we ask God that you help everybody who is in any category that I just named. Anybody that has a baby on the way, anybody that may have unfortunately lost a child or lost anybody close to them. We ask God that you provide people with the supernatural strength they need, because eventually they will know and understand that they can only do so much as humans. But supernatural, I think, is a lot more mental and spiritual than anything. I think that's the part where you just have to trust God. At times, we are human. It's not very easy. Because like I said, at one point I was like that. I didn't know what to do. You would kind of want things done right then and there. You don't even want what's about to happen. But you on this line, anybody that's having a problem, issue, misunderstanding with life itself, that you help them pray to you. Get down, stop everything that they're doing, and just continue to pray. Because I figured out the prayer part. Most people say, okay, yeah, I'll pray for you. Me, I can actually say I have actually stopped my day and prayed for people that have crossed my mind. So we ask God that prayer really becomes a thing. Just as everything else is trendy, help prayer become a trendy thing as well. Help prayer become a trendy, conscious decision amongst people. We don't want people getting into the habit of saying, I'll pray, but they never really pray. Or they say, I prayed, and they never really pray. And then they wonder why things are going lopsided in life, because the part that you're missing. Now, everybody's life is different. Nobody's perfect. Everybody's going to make their mistakes. They're going to have trials and tribulations. They're going to have rough patches. To help these rough patches make these people into better human beings. To help anything demonic, God, cease in anybody's life. Because somebody can have a great life right now, but they still have demonic things happen. There could be somebody out there, they just constantly fall. Whether they be 25, 30, 50. Age, mistake has no age. Trials and tribulations have no age. So we ask God that once again, you continue to give people that supernatural strength throughout every part of life. Not just one part of life, just every part of life. We ask God that you provide protection, clarity for people in travel. Anybody that's in a relationship, they want to go to the next step of marriage, God, we get the confirmation from you. Help the level of judgment cease, dear God. I've been in a lot of different places lately. I've driven around a lot of different people. With me driving, I meet a lot of different people. I deliver to a lot of different people. So I ask, dear God, that you help the judgment be minimized. I see that a lot nowadays, unfortunately. You help the judgment be minimized, and you help the prayer be increased. That's what we ask. We ask that all of our decisions go through you. We ask that all of our trials and tribulations go through you. I would much rather get a test from God any day than to get a test from the other side, into which I am completely unaware of. So we ask, dear God, that you continue to help us love, help us respect one another, help us understand one another, help us do the best that we can, dear God, as humans, and to help us know when our human strength is over, not permanently, but to help us know and understand, dear God, okay, you know what, this is as far as I can go. We have to realize that as humans, some things are completely out of our control. I had to learn that a lot. That a lot of things are completely out of your control. Anybody that's in college right now, some things are out of your control. Anybody looking for a house, car, job, some things are completely out of your control. You have to pray to God and ask Him to allow and provide for you the life that you know He already has for you. A lot of things God already has lined up for us. He's just waiting for us to talk to Him about things. And one thing I learned as I got a little bit older, I mean, I'm only 30, but between mid-20s and 30, I learned admitting and absence. Admitting to when you were wrong and then being absent for whatever it was you did wrong. And that right there is a small part of knowing where your human strength has ended. Like, it's the limit with this. That's why they have machines. If you look at construction workers, they have a site full of hard-working great men, I presume. But then they have machines for the rest of the stuff that has to be moved. Because it's not within the human power for them to move a 300-pound rock. It's not within the human power for them to be able to move a 1-ton crane. So we ask, dear God, that you help us know when our human strength is at its limit. And for the supernatural part, we ask God that we continue to pray to you about that. We continue to pray to you, and that you allow us to be in a good spot. You allow us to be in a great spot, dear God. we ask God as you continue to just help us love each other, be protected wherever we go. And I say we all as a people. I'm pretty sure people on this line, they travel, you all go different places. You might be, whether you travel 5 miles a day or 500 miles a month, just know I'm here verbally praying for you. I want you to be protected. Whether you get married tomorrow or whether you get married in 2 years, I want you to be protected all over. This is the part that we have to do, people. We have to continue to pray for each other when the time is over on the prayer line. And after a point, I become so attached to the situation. I pray for everybody that I hear on here. I pray for people that I don't hear on. Prayer is powerful. And prayer is a part of us knowing when our human strength has ended and supernatural strength has begun. All of that is a line of belief God has for me. I will be the first to admit once again that I was one of the worst that happened. I couldn't do it. But I just didn't know what was next. I didn't understand things happened. I had absolute. But faith helps. Faith helps you grow. Because once you've grown and you've matured, then you learn to have patience. Some things still will get to you. It's just a human life. But other things, you learn to deal with it. And I always share something personal on here. This way, anybody listening can know how far I came. And if anybody can hear how I probably sounded 3 or 4 years ago, I'm not sure how long it's been on here. But if anybody can hear, how I sounded back then, I'm pretty sure you can hear it improved up until now. So just know that great people is where there's a will, there's a way. Just know when you're just know that you're God. That's just a point of God. So I ask people that you just continue to pray. Like I said, I always share something slightly personal, just so you know where I'm coming from. Just so you know I'm not just saying a bunch of words to grasp everyone's attention. Now, I always say my age, probably been on here since I was about 26, but I'm 30 now. It just goes to show that there is improvement in time. For any of our young men on here, that crossroad, that crazy point in life, 20s is about to end, it counts. It counts. It gets crazy. It gets wild. Nothing might not happen to you in your 20s. You might have some things happen to you in your 30s. So, I say that to say, I can almost relate. What the situation is, I can almost relate. So that's why I say, continue to pray. We ask God to continue to guide us all in the correct direction, to help us understand prayer, to help us know what prayer is and how powerful it can really be. And as I always say, it doesn't cost anything. There's no fee involved. You don't have to worry about paying it back. It's nothing. Just words into which you want to lead you in a bright future. It's words that you speak unto God. Listen. So we ask that everyone just to pray. Continue to do the best that you can do when it comes to this thing called life. Yes, for sure, it's not easy at all. But we ask that everyone on here, give it a good shot. Give it a good shot to the best of your ability. Live with minimal regrets. Pray very often. And keep doing it. Keep doing it till you get it right. There's a lot of things that all of us humans do. And we just keep doing the same thing over and over. But just pray. Just pray and you will get it right. Some of it is an addiction. Some of it is a mental defect, whatever it may be. No matter what it is. No one's perfect at all. So I say that to say, just know your supernatural strength begins. That is the part when you start to speak to God. That is the part when you start to speak prayer. That is the part where it's almost like it's slim to none. It's almost like you have no choice but to start believing in prayer, but to start believing. I ask that ask you, dear God, also that you protect everyone's household, where everyone lives, and here me myself, I'm in Philadelphia. Wherever everyone may be, just continue to have them be protected, whatever city they may be, whatever city is going through turmoil. Pray for the leader of the country. He's not the best in everyone's eyes, but God uses everyone for a reason. Pray for the country, pray for other countries that's going through a lot right now. Pray for the world as a whole, for it is not perfect, but we live in it with other people, and all we can do is just pray. I think that things happen outside of our control, and it kind of forces us to pray, because if we can change everything with the snap of a finger, if we can change everything with a phone call, then what would life be? I think when things happen, unfortunately, it forces us to pray. And when I say force, it's not as blunt force. It's just like, wow, this is really out of my control, so let me pray. So we ask, dear God, that you continue to bless this bond for as long as you've been doing, and we hope for a lot more years to come. We ask, God, that you take the line to a higher level, new heights, to where you want to take it to where you would like it to be. Bless everybody on here. Bless all the children. Anybody elementary, middle school, high school, college, undergrad school, med school, any type of thing, we ask God to decrease the suicide rate down a year or so. Small percentage, but we ask that keeps decreasing. Anybody who may be habitually on drugs or anything of any type of addiction, that help anybody with that too. We ask that you bring more people on this line, no judgment zone at all, and that you continue to be the great person that you are. Continue to pray, continue to let go and let God, as hard as it may be, day by day, just take steps, let go and let God, and help us all continue to pray, do the best that we possibly can. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Unmuted.
God.
Muted.
Thank Brother Sean for his insightful lessons this evening, his thoughts, and we thank God for all of our prayer warriors here on the Nationwide Prayer. We want to thank all of our callers and listeners this evening, too, for participating, as we are seeking to be unified in God by prayer, regardless of ethnicities or location. So be sure to check out our website at www.nationwideprayer.org to keep up with all the things that are going on. Do check out the calendar with all the different activities that are going on throughout the week. Please be sure to stop back and check with us next week, as we always have our prayer watches on Wednesdays at 6 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. Again, thank you very much for joining us today. If you stay tuned, we will replay our recording. And as always, may God bless you.
This session